All right, so you all are working in groups. This is still lesson 4.18. We need to do a check for understanding. We understand that we either have a dotted or what we call a dash boundary line. We have a dashed boundary line, or we will have a solid boundary line. We know that the solution area is where the shading is. So we've done step by step, step 1, step 2, and step 3. I want you to go to the check for understanding question on the back. I want to check your understanding now. I want you to go to the check for understanding question. You're going to go here. You can work by yourself or in a group, but each person has to do the paper individually. I'll be walking around to do calculator checks. I'll be walking around to do calculator checks. So we have to go step by step. Can somebody read to me what the first step is? What is the first step that you have to do?
Write the inequality in slope intercept form.
Okay, very good. So the first thing we have to do is write the inequality in slope intercept form. That is our step 1. Step 2, what do we have to do? Someone else. Hold on, another person. Step 2.
Plot the point to the dial inequality before connecting the points to form a line to share the rulers.
Very good. Plot the points to graph the inequality. Before connecting the points to form a line, check these rules. If you have a less than or greater than symbol, you're going to use a dashed line for your boundary line. If you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to symbol, you're going to use a solid line. Okay? Then you will plot your points on the graph and connect the points using the dashed or solid line. How do we find out what we're going to graph? We use our what?
Intercept.
Not just that, but how are we going? Where are we going to plug our inequality into? Our
Inequality.
The calculator.
very good. Your graphing calculator. Somebody read for me step 3, please. Read step 3.
Choose a test point that is not on the line. 0, 0 is a good test point to use. If the line does not pass through, substitute the test point into the equality and use these rules to determine.
Excellent. Thank you. So we're going to use a test point that is not on the line. Just like we used before, 0, 0 is a good test point to use if your line does not pass through it. So what you're going to do is substitute your test point into your inequality. Okay, into your inequality. And you're going to use the rules that we had to determine. What do the rules say? Let's go back. If the test point makes your inequality true, you're going to shade the side of the line that the test point is on. If the test point makes your inequality false, then you're going to shade the side of the line that the test point is not on. Okay, that's the opposite side. You have 7 minutes, you may begin. You can work with a partner or by yourself. I will be walking around to check what you're doing. All right, so this is the inequality that we start off with. You can use your highlighter so that you can highlight it and see this is the inequality that you're starting off with that you're going to write in slope intercept form. You have to isolate y. Please begin.
First, I'm going to just do highlight that part, step 1. Highlight
Looks good. Excellent. So I want you to take out your calculator as well. I want to see how you're entering the information into your calculator.
I do a calculator.
Yes. Cool. to get y by itself. Please start solving this so you can get y by itself. That's what you want to do. So that you find out what your equation is. Good. You can tell you what you can do is start solving this. So how am I going to get y by itself? We have 6x minus 2y. Is greater than or equal to 4. How are you going to get y by itself on this side? What do you have to get rid of?
Does he have two numbers you?
No, you have to get rid of what's not connected to y. So what is the other part?
6x.
Good, so we can subtract that on both sides of our inequality. They were left with. Remember, our goal is y equals mx plus b. Alright, so if you need some extra help, you can join me at this table. I'm going to do a little. If you more need help or you guys have it, okay, so then you can continue. You can continue if you need help. Join me over here. Yes. So when we are solving, we have 6. We have 6x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. So this is my inequality, right? My goal is to get it in y equals mx plus b form. So what do I have to do? How do I get y by itself on one side of the equation? Of the inequality. Get rid of what?
6.
No, the
6 x.
I want to get the y by itself, so I have to get rid of the 6x. So what am I going to do? What's the opposite of positive?
Ys.
So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. Good. So now, what am I left with on this side? Kimberly.
2y.
Good. You have 2y, right? Negative 2y. That's negative 2y. And then our symbol that they give us is what?
The
Greater than or equal to. And then so now if I need to have it in y equals mx plus b form, which term do I write first? Am I going to write 4 minus 6x or negative 6x?
negative 6.
Okay, good. Negative 6x plus 4. Now, the last part. How am I going to get y by itself?
Divided
Divide by what?
2.
What symbol is this on? Good. So I'm going to divide by negative 2. And that means I have to divide this side by negative 2 as well. And these are 2 separate terms, so I have to divide that by negative 2. Make sense so far? Okay. So I want you ladies to see if you can finish this part. I'm going to go to the next table. You have to divide to see what your new inequality is. All right. And then you're going to go to step 2, work as a group. And go to step 2. So if we have this inequality here, guys, if we have 6x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4, what do I have to get rid of? I want to get y by itself. Remember, the goal is y equals mx plus b form, right? Our goal is to get it y by itself on one side of the inequality and then the x on the other side. So how do I get this x over to that side? Good. So we're going to subtract 6x on both sides. Please do it. All right, so what am I left with on the left side? Negative what? Negative 2. Good. So we have negative 2y on the left. And our symbol is what? Greater than or? Greater than or equal to symbol, right? Good. So greater than or equal to. And then we have to have the term with the x first, so we're gonna write, instead of writing 4 minus 6x, we would write what? Negative, what is this, negative what? And what's the variable? Good, negative 6x, and then this is a positive 4, so my number at the end is gonna be plus 4. Alright, so now, to solve this, we have to divide by what? To get y, we have to divide by negative 2. Good. So that means on the right side, we also have to divide this by negative 2 and this by negative 2. Can you guys do that and see what your new inequality is? You have 1 minute left. Nice work. I like how everybody's solving this. No, you already have it in your stuff. She has it on her other sheet. You have it on the other sheet, so she's on. Thank you. All right, so this will cancel out, so we'll be left with y. And then we're divided by a negative number, so we have to flip the sign. Negative 6 divided by negative 2, that's gonna leave you with 3, right? X. And then what is 4 divided by negative 2?
Uh-oh, miss. The period ended.
That would be good. Take this home, please, and bring it back tomorrow. I want to see if you can take it home and see if you can graph it.
I don't have time.
Take it home and see if you can graph it. If you don't have time, that's one thing, but take it home and see if you can graph it, okay? Now that you have the equation, this is the equation that you should end up with. Y is less than or equal to, we have to flip the sign because we divided by a negative number. That simplifies to 3x minus 2, okay?
Can I take the folder too?
Take the folder and bring it back. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Nice work.